We're actually staying with food because hot on the heels of clean eating, there's a new trend that's making foodies and health nuts go wild, apparently. Fermented foods are in the spotlight once again, but just what is that? Food writer Dani Valent joins us on the couch. Dani, good morning.
Good morning. So fermented food is nothing new. It's basically the action of microorganisms such as yeast and bacteria on food or drink. And it's something that I suppose we consume quite often. Any bread is fermented, cheese is fermented, wine and beer are fermented. But it's certainly had a bit of a resurgence and people are more interested in it than they have been recently.
They focus, I guess, on much more sort of intrusive food, I guess, than just your bread and your beer. So the kimchi and food like that's sort of fermented over a period of time and usually very strong tasting. Yeah,
that's right. And I think it's a sense that we're okay with food being more alive or seeming more alive than in the second half of the 20th century. We really wanted food to be inert. It was processed. It was very dead. We wanted all the bacteria gone from food. It was all about disinfecting, having everything super squeaky clean. And I think now we're allowing the idea of food, being part of the live process that happen in our body. We're not as scared of them as we have been.
Let's cut to the chase, Dani. What have you got? What's breakfast?
Well, I've brought in a kombucha SCOBY. So can we see that there?
That's a disease you get at a certain time of the year, I think.
The SCOBY, this funny little leathery squidgy thing, which we're not going to eat,
Tip it a bit more,
is that is a symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast. So that's an acronym for SCOBY, and that is what.
That's Virginia's breakfast, in other words.
Exactly, and that is what
turns.
Don't
like me very much, do you?
So have you heard of kombucha?
Yes,
along with kimchi, kombucha is just going crazy. So kombucha is a fermented black tea, and what we do is we put our SCOBY in our sweetened fermented black tea. It does its work. The yeast and the bacteria start funking this tea up and turn it fizzy. There's a very slight amount of alcohol in it, and we can flavour it in other ways. And it's supposedly, advocates say it's extremely good for us.
It'd have to be carefully handled, though, wouldn't it? This type of this type of fermented food, simply because good bacteria can go bad and bad bacteria can be introduced very quickly. Yeah,
for sure. So I think when we introduce the right bacteria, or we let things ferment in the wild, like generally the bad bacteria eat the good bacteria eat the bad bacteria, and so the products are safe to eat. But certainly, if you're going to try this at home, and a lot of people are, certainly get some basic ground rules. There's some great references. So Sandor Katz has a book, The Art of Fermentation. He's like the godfather of the modern fermentation movement.
A lot of this, as I understand, has to do with the fact that we're now focusing much more on gut health and the bacteria in our gut. And we've done a lot of conversations and interviews on this program about how that's the new medical frontier that might end up solving all ills, let's see. So that's the sort of the food connection to it, isn't it?
That's the food connection and the purported health connection. So I think scientists are happy to say that, we need good bacteria, a good variety and a number of them in our gut to keep our, things ticking over. Where it gets a little bit more shaky is about dosage or prescribing things. You couldn't say this glass of kombucha is going to help you with your anxiety or with your child's autism, which is some of the claims that are put out there. So definitely they're good. How good and in what quantities and what's going to make what happen is a little bit more shaky.
Can I try a bean?
Yes, so these are fermented beans. So, I mean, these are, I won't drip.
Oh, you're going to drip all over the bloody couch.
No, I will not.
Hang on.
I know this. No, it's okay. The plate, it won't drip. So fermented beans, along with...
No, after you.
Oh, no, after you.
No, after you.
All right.
These are kind of, fermented beans or fermented cabbage in the form of sauerkraut. Ancient people have been eating it for thousands of years. But I think it's not that bad. Really? We're going to share a bean.
Or seriously sharp this time of the morning, that's all.
Yeah, probably a little bit early for fermented beans, but I think it's
God help me.
It's quite nice.
You can sit at your desk and munch these all day and you'll know at the very least they're not bad for you, and they're probably quite good for you because they are introducing good bacteria into your gut.
I think I'd rather take a probiotic.
Well, you can, but I think people are letting their food be more alive and as part of a general movement to eating food in its natural state.
All right.
Okay.
Dani, thanks so much. Nice to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you. Oh, they are sour.
It's a very chewy bean, actually. You might have to take over.
Yeah, I'll chat amongst myself for a while here.